15 ways to grow on Instagram. What's going on, guys? Thor here, back with a new video, and in this video we're going to be talking about 15 ways that you can use to grow your Instagram account. Now, the reason I'm making this video is purely to give you guys ideas and some inspiration on what you actually can do, because I see so many of you actually struggling with growing but just using about one or two strategies when there in reality are more than 15 ways that you can use to grow on Instagram. So I'm making this video to kind of open up your eyes to see the bigger picture and give you guys basically more ideas on how you can grow your Instagram account, because you've got so many tools available in your tool belt, but most of you are probably just using 1, 2, or 3 strategies to grow your account. So let's just dive into this and look at the 15 ways you can use to grow on Instagram. Number 1 is hashtags, basically ranking in hashtags and getting followers from those rankings. Now, ranking in hashtags is not that effective anymore. Instagram are working on ways to improve this though, as you've seen new features coming out with the follow hashtags, for example, which increase the amount of people grew by using hashtags, but still most of the time people are not really going to hashtags to find content, but using hashtags is still a way of growing. Now, when you're using hashtags, just make sure that you got your ranking factors on point, that you're actually choosing hashtags that you are able to rank in, because if you're not doing this, there's basically no point in using them. Number 2 is ranking on the explore page or reaching the explore page. Now, this is probably the number 1 way of growing on Instagram now in 2018, and it's 10 times more effective than hashtags, because now finding new content, people usually go to the explore page rather than hashtags. So most of the places where people find new content now is in the hashtags, I mean the explore page, and that is why you can grow such large amounts of followers from just reaching the explore page. Now, I'll talk more about how you can reach the explore page later in this video, so just stick around. But reaching the explore page is really the key to having massive growth on Instagram these days. Number 3 is stories. Now, if you didn't know, you can actually rank your stories in hashtags. When you go to any hashtags, for example, the hashtag travel, as you can see right here, you can see that on the top there is a way you can rank stories. You can actually see stories ranked in hashtags, which means that these stories has actually used the hashtag travel in the story to get ranked on this hashtag. So you can also grow by ranking your stories in hashtags. Number 4 is ads on Instagram. Now, this is basically when you see, if you have a business account, you can click on your post and you can see that there's a button saying promote. You can see it on the screen right here. You can see that there's a button you can click which is called promote, and that way you basically spend money for Instagram to promote this post to other people that they might think that are interested in your content. Now, this is a way to grow, and it's effective, but it's not that good as another strategy which I'll come to soon, because you don't really get to choose the audience you want to reach. Instagram just basically chooses a random targeting for you, so the followers aren't really that targeted to your niche, and you also might end up spending more money than you have to, because you're not really doing the targeting that well, because Instagram is doing the targeting for you. Number 5 is ads on Facebook. Now, this is basically the same thing as ads on Instagram, just that you create the ads on Facebook Ad Manager, because if you didn't know, Instagram is owned by Facebook, so you can actually create Instagram ads on Facebook in the Ad Manager, and this time you actually get to choose the targeting yourself. You get to choose the age of people, the demographics, the niche you want to really focus on, so that the ROI is much higher, because you really get to target people who you know are interested in your niche. Number 6 is DM groups, and the reason DM groups is a way to grow is that you basically use DM groups to boost your posts to reach the explore page and hashtags. Now, the way this works is basically DM groups work as a group of people in the same niche on Instagram collaborating together to boost the engagement on the post right as it's being posted. You probably know about DM groups and the entire thing, but the goal here is to boost the post with engagement within the first 60 minutes, so that the post can reach the explore page and also reach the hashtags, so that you can rank up high there and also then grow this way, basically, because as I said, reaching the explore page is the #1 most effective way to grow on Instagram. So you want to do everything you can in your power to reach this explore page, and using DM groups is one powerful way of doing this. Number 7 is Powerlights, and Powerlights is basically serves as the same purpose as DM groups. You boost the post with engagement to reach the explore page and hashtags, except Powerlights is a paid service. Powerlights are a paid service, and usually costs around anything from $300 to $500, $600, $700 depending on who you buy from. You probably can find cheaper sources than that as well, but when you buy Powerlights you have to make sure that the quality is there, because if you buy Powerlights for $100 the quality usually is not there. However, Powerlights usually comes in bigger quantities than DM groups, but DM groups is a free way of using Powerlights if you don't want to pay for Powerlights. And I forgot to mention, Powerlights is basically likes from accounts between 30,000 followers all the way up to 500,000 followers. So when you get these likes, Instagram sees your post as an authority, and that way they will rank you on the explore page and also in hashtags. Number 8 is Instagram influencer ads. This is basically where you're paying for a promotion on another bigger page in your niche. Say you have a travel page with 5,000 followers and there is this big travel page almost identical to your page with 200,000 followers. Well, what you basically do then is you create an ad, for example a video. Videos usually work very well, and you pay the influencer, the 200,000 follower page, to promote this ad on their page, and that is basically Instagram influencer ad. A very effective way to grow. You've probably seen High on Life grow pages by 100,000 followers in 24 hours, and what they did then is using these influencer ads to basically boost the pages. Now you need a lot of money to do this, but if you have the money and just really want to get the followers right away, this is one of the most effective ways you can do this. Because say you spend $2,000, then you'll definitely grow a lot within a very short amount of time. Number 9 is shoutouts. Now shoutouts, just basically general shoutouts, isn't that effective anymore. So if you are going to do shoutouts, you basically want to create a very appealing shoutout. For example, a video where you display different sides of the content that you're posting on your page to make it more appealing to the person actually viewing the shoutout. Now shoutouts can be free and also paid. If you're doing shoutout for shoutout with pages with a page similar to yours with the same amount of followers almost, then you can get them for free, but you can also pay for shoutouts. But then it becomes more as an influencer ad again, where you really want to focus on having a quality video or picture when you actually promote your page, because the better you can make your ad look, the more followers you're basically going to grow. Number 10 is story ads. Now story ads is not that common, as it's a new feature to Instagram, or it's not really new, but very few people use it, so it's still very cheap. It's a very cheap way of running ads on Instagram. So if you're just looking to dive into ads, story ads is more effective than normal ads, because yeah, fewer people are using it, so it's cheaper, and it's also a really effective way to grow. It's basically just, say you view an ad on Instagram, you just tap on the ad and you view it. Say you view a story on Instagram, you just tap on the story in the top, and then before it transitions to the next story from a next person, you can see that top here, you can see that multiple stories are aligned together. So between these two stories of, for example, 2 different people, an ad will display, and that can be your ad if you're looking to grow your Instagram account by using story ads. That's basically how they work. Number 11 is follow and follow. Now the follow and follow feature has been dissed by a lot of people. A lot of people hate on the follow and follow method to grow, because yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding about how it actually works and how it affects your page. But it actually is a very decent way of growing your page if you don't look to invest a lot of money. If you just want to really get that start going, if you really want to get that momentum going, follow and follow is really powerful. If you're just at, like, say 1,000, 2,000 followers, or just 500, you can use this strategy to grow and get that momentum going. Now I have a video down below which I just made where I explain the ins and outs on follow and follow, and if it actually is doable now in 2018, and the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts about how you should do it, what you should avoid when doing it, because there are a lot of things that you should avoid when using this strategy. So go down below and check out that video if you're looking for an effective way to grow for free, because yeah, I'll basically explain everything in that video. Number 12 is cross promotions. Now cross promotions is basically just using other social media platforms to boost your Instagram followers. So say you, for example, have 5,000 friends on Facebook, then you can make a Facebook status and just tell people, hey, please follow me on Instagram. And not that simple, you'll have to make it more appealing to people. Maybe say like, oh, let's everyone follow each other on Instagram, I'll drop my account below, and you have to follow every account that commented before you until you can drop your own account. And that way you will basically grow by people following you from your other social media platforms. That way is really effective on Facebook. I've used that myself, but you can also use Snapchat and YouTube. I've, for example, grown a good amount of my Instagram followers by having a big YouTube channel. So if you have other platforms that you can leverage, definitely do this to boost your presence on Instagram. Number 13 is buying an Instagram account. Now, you're not basically buying the Instagram account just for having the account, but say you have a travel page. I use the travel page a lot, but say you have a travel page on 10,000 followers and then you buy a travel page on 70,000 followers. Then what you basically do then is to leverage this big travel page to grow the smaller travel page. Now there's different ways you can leverage this page. You can, for example, shout out your smaller page, but you can also use this big travel page to get into big DM groups, big DM networks, and then when you, for example, drop your post, you can drop the post of the smaller page. So the small page is going to get engagement by these big pages because you have the 70K account, which is in all these big DM groups. So that is a really powerful method of boosting smaller pages. Strategy number 14 is rebranding your page. Now this is kind of goes into the other strategies. You have to use the other strategies to grow the first page, but the key here is basically growing a page in a niche, because there's no secret that growing a page in a niche is easier than growing a personal brand, for example, where you're posting your own content. Because if you're growing a page in a niche, you can post viral content. So the key here is basically to be posting viral content to boost this page in the niche, and then slowly but surely rebranding it to your own page, blending in your own content as you go, and then suddenly only posting your own content. Now when you're doing this, you have to make sure that the quality of the content you post are at the same level, if not even higher than what you used to post, and also that you do this slowly, a very slow transition. And also I highly recommend you guys to get to know your followers on the stories and doing lives and in the highlights and stuff like that, connecting with them different ways before you actually rebrand them, so that they know the person behind the page before you rebrand them. Because if you just were to like do a sudden switch, just like completely stop posting travel pictures and post pictures of yourself, people are going to wonder, how did this guy end up on my feed, and they're going to end up unfollowing you. So make sure you do it in a strategic way when you're using this strategy. And that is it for this video. I could not come up with a 15th way of growing on Instagram, but I know you guys have some ideas that you could drop down below. So I want you guys to drop your number 15 strategy down below on growing on Instagram, because I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos have a lot of knowledge when it comes to growing on Instagram. So I want you to share that with the audience down below as well. Also, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, go down below and subscribe. If you are new to my channel, I post daily Instagram content. I give you guys all the information you need about growing on Instagram. As you can just see in this video, I just told you almost every single way you can grow on Instagram. So if you want to learn more about Instagram, go down below and subscribe. Tap that notification bell as well so you don't miss a single video. And as always guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.